Hey, love. You are Melanie of the Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. I hope all is well with you. Before we begin our segment and discuss part two of why police officers do not speak up in the face of unrest, in the face of injustice against their fellow police officers, before we begin on that discussion, let's take our 3 deep breaths. For each breath you take, I want you to visualize whatever issue you have. I want you to inhale and gather the contents of that issue, and I want you to blow that shit out. Let's begin. 1. 2. You letting it go? Blow it out. 3. Release yourself. Free yourself from that which binds you. Free yourself from that which prohibits you from being your best you. Now let's get started. Now in the first part of why don't police speak out in the face of misconduct, why don't they speak out in the face of injustice? Why don't they speak out against their own fellow officers and family in blue? They basically are under the same street code as the Chiracians. There is a code of silence. There is an order. Under no circumstances do you contradict your fellow officer, period. They under the same law as the streets. Those who have clout are able to get away with more. Those who are about doing the right thing and actually trying to prevent fellow officers from engaging in police brutality or an abuse of power, they are reprimanded. They are outcast. They are reassigned. They are fired. These officers have had to file lawsuits with the city just to get some form of justice from a job, from an organization that was supposed to be like family to them. Over the past 10 years, Chicago has dished out $500 million in misconduct settlements right here in Chicago. $500 million in misconduct settlements. So we last ended on David saying how, the word gets around. Once it comes out that you are willing to go against your partner, you are willing to snitch, nobody wants to work with you. Your job is now on the line. Your life is now possibly on the line. Your livelihood. They treat you like an op. So Wesley Morgan a Northwestern University criminologist said that if Chicago is really ready for police reform, those in charge need to take whistleblowers like Spalding and Davis seriously. You know, I know that you may have people who say things because you know, they're just trying to ruin you or whatever. But then you have people who are actually telling the truth. And especially when fellow police officers are exposing what other police officers are engaging in, and these police officers already have their own jacket of complaints about misconduct. You know, everything needs to be investigated thoroughly, regardless of whatever honor they're at or whatever position they're in. It should not be allowed on any level. You know, and that's crazy because how can we really be surprised at how police treat the residents when look at how you treat each other? It is such a running similarities between CPD and the streets. The code is damn near the same. And yet, one of your points is to clean up the streets. But you all are engaging in the same stuff that the streets are engaging in? You moving the same way that they're moving? You treating people just as badly as they do? He said that we should pay special attention to the reports of the people who have actual experience in the organization. We should pay extra attention to that kind of expertise. Both Spalding and Davis believe their cases are just a small example of some of the problems that still plague the department. And it begins as early as when one enters the police academy as a cadet. Part of the training in the police academy, according to these officers, is that you do not contradict a fellow police officer or else. Or else. Or else what? Or else consequences. Or else you're going to regret it. Or else whatever position you had or wherever you thought you was going in this organization is over, or else. They said that these police officers developed a whole campaign of terror to send a message to other police officers who felt like they were going to go up against another police officer or contradict another police officer or expose the misconduct of another police officer. Campaign of terror. And between their training and the things that they experience on the streets, if anybody could put a campaign of terror together, it's the police. You should put together a campaign of serving and protecting. So they said it's like, you know, when you're in the academy, you're a cadet, you gotta go to the little classes, get the training. So it's like you get a homeroom instructor and they teach you by the book. But then the veteran cops come in And they tell you that you can learn all that just because you have to. All that book knowledge, learn that because you have to. But this is the way it works in the real world. And you learn never to go against another cop. So they like, oh, that's just paperwork, this is policy. That's like these little organizations. All of the paperwork looks good, but when you go into the business and see what's really going on, it's not what they say it is. And David said that if officers don't learn to keep quiet in the academy, they usually do early in their careers. And a lot of the instructors are officers who were rewarded with a job desired by many for keeping silent. Well, that's discouraging. You would think that people getting promotions for doing great things. Saving people, being exemplary in your work, but you're getting promoted just for keeping silent. They say that the instructors are giving bad ideas, that they are giving bad training. They are chosen by clout. To get to the higher levels, you need to do what you are told, keep your mouth closed, and be a team player. This sounds like some gang activity. This sounds like the streets. Spalding said, early training lessons stick with officers, and if they are bad lessons, they will lead to bad things. So basically she's saying they respond in the way that they are conditioned to respond. When you are in the middle of something, all your training kicks in, and part of your training from the very beginning is to shut up and go along with the program or else. I mean, they don't even like bring a little piece to your mind. At least people will be like, well, you do whatever, we're going to whoop you. You do whatever, we're going to shoot you. They like, or else. That just leaves the man to wonder, like, or else what? There's so many possibilities with or else. So instantly, in a very traumatic situation, the training of you never go against another officer kicks in. Are y'all trying to low-key give the defense attorneys for those other police officers in Minneapolis something to stand on? Crazy how all this is coming out now. It's coming out because we're supposed to know. It's coming out because things have been set up like an illusion. This is crazy. So is it like legally, although people are dying, legally they really didn't do anything wrong? Because that's a part of the job requirement? He was not supposed to. They were not supposed to go against their superior, no matter what. So then couldn't that be argued on their behalf to where it's like they're not even found guilty? How many moral standpoints stand up in court? If things continue like this, we haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen anything yet. Spalding said that after she talked, someone attempted to sabotage her car tires, and she and her partner were sent to apprehend a dangerous suspect without any backup. Okay, so it's like you're training these officers about, loyalty within the organization, which, you know, I'm big on loyalty, but not to my own personal demise. And if you are loyal to me like you say so, you would need to put me in a position to come to some type of personal demise. It's just trauma everywhere. It is trauma everywhere. Within the residents, within the police department, within the officials. This is ridiculous. She ultimately left the department and Chicago. She left the city. Y'all ran this little lady out the city. In a lawsuit, Spalding and her partner brought that was settled by the city, 11 officers were named as defendants along with the city of Chicago. 8 of the officers were allowed to retire with full benefits, and 3 are still working. Wow, there's. So they named the officers, and put out here how much they're actually earning. So we got a sergeant who is earning, Maurice, he is earning $122,472 annually. Robert is a commander earning $162,684. And Thomas was promoted in mid-July to commander of narcotics and vice in making $162,684. In the lawsuit, all 3 officers retaliated against Spalding and her partners for speaking up against Watt and Muhammad. They said Mills made plaintiffs' daily tasks more difficult and hindered their ability to work overtime, develop cases, and participate in team arrests, and at the same time threatened to remove plaintiffs from the team from failing to produce arrests. Wow. Once when the plaintiffs were assigned to pursue a dangerous felon, they were falsely told that the team would provide necessary backup and support, but when they arrived at the scene, the team was not present, and Mills sent them a text message stating, "Be careful." Barnes told the other officers that they were rats, and at one point told Spalding, "I don't want to tell your daughter that you're coming home in a box because the team won't help you on the streets." It's like, I swear to God, it's like something out of a movie, off of one of these little TV shows. Do we have more? There's more. Two other officers were also promoted in July with meals and Spalding said that these types of promotions send the wrong message when the city claims to be working toward real reform and accountability. Superintendent David O. Brown said that since day one, he has been clear. Now, Superintendent Brown is new here. Just new because of, we all family, even with the little Chirac. Just like if you got a little crackhead as a family member, you still love him. You just don't leave your little purse around. So he said that he has been clear since day one that all officers who witness misconduct should immediately report incidents to the Bureau of Internal Affairs. Or you can just call the City of Chicago's office of the Inspector General. You don't have to identify yourself. Just call, just tell. That sounds good. But if you recall in part one, they said that the instructor comes in and gives them the law according to the land. Stuff that's typed up, that's written, that could be used against them, right? And then the veteran cops come in and say, yeah, learn that. So you pass the test, so you go ahead and get through, learn that, so you can know how to act when certain eyes are on you, learn that. But this is what really goes down. This is how we really move. So should immediately. I don't like that word. You should tell. You should immediately tell. You should. I don't like that. Order them. Put it in writing. Order them. Ain't no should tell. You should tell. You should tell. CPS holds all employees to the highest standards and takes allegations of misconduct seriously. Boy, Brown, I hope you ain't put yourself in a situation to be the fall guy. Because you talking this talk and we remembering your words. You the current one. You be the main one up there with TT. You want to get rid of these evil bastards. Start at home. Because apparently it's ran by demons. Start at home. These people have filed and won lawsuits, so it had to be some type of truth. It had to be something, some type of validity in their complaints. Because look at how when other people say stuff, y'all dismiss them like, boy, bad. You hear this fool talking? We don't hear this fool talking. But in these cases, somebody listened. And somebody felt that their complaints were justified. I know your little self. You're not even from here. You are TT, but TT got more of a history here in Chicago from, her work. It's just a lot that needs to be done. And you stepping out and you being a face and you being a voice. So I hope you following through. People tired of being finessed. I hope you are following through. has, as in one of our previous shows, according to the FBI, it's a bounty on y'all head as it is. And like I said, it's not an order to just shoot blue. The order is to record you, to observe, to record, and in the event that you up on the resident, they're going to, it's off with your head. So if you know that you have liabilities within the organization that's going to cause more bloodshed, the same thing that you are standing against, the same thing that Trump is standing against, the same thing that TT is standing against, you know, the aldermen standing against, everybody has their own opinion about how we should go about doing it. But the bottom line is that overall, the notion is that we are all against it. Even the residents, majority of the residents. Because Chirac does not, is not majority of Chicago. Chirac is a segment of Chicago. It's not majority of Chicago. So you got majority of the people who are against this. What you gonna do, babes? What are you willing to do? They tell him. Davis said that Brown is from Dallas and has only been here since April. He said that he doesn't know who he's promoting. While as head of the police board, Lightfoot should have known who was getting big promotion. That statement sounded biased. That statement sounded biased. It's like, Davis, I know that you have experienced some terror and everything from trying to do the right thing, but it seemed like you just gave Superintendent Brown a tap on the hand and just gave Mayor T.T. Lightfoot a slap on the ass. That just sounded biased. Yeah, as head of organizations, you should know what is going on. Should know. Just like they should report it. Now let's keep going. So Davis says that Lori was involved when Davis' case was up when she was president of the Chicago Police Board and said, he's quoting T.T. Lightfoot now. He said, T.T., he said, you said, I think we need to go after these targets aggressively and get them off the job. He's saying, but now that she is mayor, she did a 360. I think you meant to say that she did a 180. If she did a 360, she would have came back completely to the same spot that she was when she first started to make that turn. Full circle is a 360. So I think you meant to say 180. She reversed. But anyway, he wants to know why. Why did you say that we should target them aggressively and get them off the job? Why? So a spokesman for TT said, the mayor has been clear since day one. We clear since day one around here. Day one. That her days on the Police Accountability Task Force, that all allegations of misconduct must be thoroughly investigated by the department. So she's saying, okay, yeah, there are complaints, but there's also due process. And even though you're saying that this is going on and perhaps is distraught about it, we still need to make sure that this is a clean bust. We need to make sure that you are not taking advantage of the police to come up against another police officer. And I know they say that due process is extended to everybody. You know, and if you look at it from both sides, you do need a due process. You don't want to be going to jail for something you didn't do. But here, where was the due process and the thorough process with all these inmates who went to prison and was innocent? How thorough and how due is the process? Both Police Accountability Task Force and the Department of Justice findings on the Chicago Police Department noted that a provision in police contracts discouraged the reporting of officer misconduct and reaffirmed fears of retaliation. It said that's why under the historic changes won by the city and the Policemen's Benevolent and Protective Association unit contract, the department may now investigate anonymous complaints against police supervisors. So y'all found out that y'all had snitches within the rankings. I told people, y'all come talk to me, come tell, and they was telling. But then doesn't the law also say that you have the right to know the identity of your accuser? This all kind of messed up on like so many levels. So many levels. So now they're saying, I guess you don't have to know who your accuser is. Just know that somebody pointed you out and said you did it. That's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Davis would like to see an overhaul and agrees with the different community groups that are trying to have input into hiring and promotion and also some control within a police organization. Spalding agrees, saying it starts from the top. When an incident occurs, the street deputy comes out, reviews everything, and then helps the officers that were on the scene form the narrative and then signs the officer's name on the report. How you gonna help somebody form a narrative for something you wasn't there? Now, can I partially answer my own question? Yes. Police officers have to take psychology courses. Y'all know that? Study behavior. There's really nothing new under the sun. A lot of times there's a certain flow to different incidents. And it really has kind of gotten predictable. Just like with Operation Legend. Predictable. Follow the pattern of behavior. People becoming career criminals, you let them out. Let's check in on them, see if they still up to the stuff that they doing. More than likely they are. What is it coming up? If they are, a lot of them are. Let's notate that although it may be a lot of does not represent all. So you must leave room for that exception, that everything is not going to perfectly fit into the puzzle that you all are used to. Don't get so high on your horses and so full of this intelligence that you assume one is all. That's a huge mistake. You taking psychology, you definitely should know that, right? Did y'all go to DePaul? Y'all should have took psychology at DePaul. A lot of this stuff is, we got a lot of work to do, people. We as a people, we have a lot of work to do. There are a lot of changes that need to be made. There's a lot of justice that needs to be had. Healing and reconditioning. It's like at this point, I mean, yes, you can point your finger and be justified in it, but goddamn, everybody got some work to do. Everyone has some work to do. And if that's your stand, to get it, to get them out of here, that's your stance, to act aggressively and get them up out of here. You know, I don't know. I don't know why I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. I believe in giving you the benefit of the doubt, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to see what's to you. But baby, if they come back dirty, and they are who these people, the victims, are saying that they are, get their ass up out of here. Because see, this right here, it's going to be so much more bloodshed before we start to see any type of peace. It's too much chaos. You gotta find a way to have order. Some type of order within the chaos. Order, not controlling people, not impeding people's civil liberties. We all have to share this little space. So there should be some social norms, certain boundaries in place to, protect everyone overall. But ain't no way in hell these police officers should be able to do what they doing like they doing and still holding their positions, and still the taxpayers are paying for their mistakes. $500 million in a decade for misconduct settlement. That is beyond ridiculous. Now, the ones who don't fit the criteria, don't bother themselves. Implement the new forms of training and, get them on out here to do what they're supposed to do on a good foot. But the ones who are out here trying to show the Chiracians that they just established as them, both sides got to go. You hear me? Both. The police that's acting up, the Chiracians that's acting up, those who are out here who are trying to destroy our city, our home, they got to go. And you got to start moving just a little bit quicker before these boys start shooting. Y'all already talking about, Y'all ain't really never seen as many police officers getting assaulted or getting killed and stuff as this year. And it's not a thing of being scary or feeling like somebody punking you. It's acknowledging that so many wrongs have been done. So much injustice in the land. I know y'all can't just outright do what you want to do like you do, because even y'all bound to the guidelines and rules. But there's certain things that you can do. And this definitely should not continue to be the narrative of Chicago Police Department. Now, you got your couple of little hey boys, some officers who are able to rise to the level to take down certain Chiracians who are, they just can't be negotiated with, they can't be talked down, they can't be paid off, they coming to destroy. Then okay. In my eyes, those are justifiable kills. People that's trying to hurt the people. Justifiable arrest. But people out here trying to see whose balls heavier, this is not the time nor the place. Things take some time, but certain aspects of this reform need to step up just a little bit faster. A little bit faster. I like the idea of the suicide prevention. You're acknowledging that, okay, we do have some issues. We're developing, programs to work on that. Unfortunately, you're kicking it off one district at a time. Well, you're doing one district, and then you're going to spread it out. This sounds like more of a long-term goal. What is it that can be done now? What is it that can be done now that will start to show that it's some type of change that's trying to be made? I don't care if after they get in and they clock in, you got to get on the intercom like the mama and be like, y'all better be good. Don't let me hear no report. Don't let me hear no reports about you. I don't know, whatever it is that you got to do to get them some type of daily reminder, some type of daily encouragement, some type of daily reconditioning. Start them off with some affirmations or something. There's power in the tongue. Maybe, why they getting some reconditioning. I don't know, these new hires that y'all got coming in, if they train the same way that the ones that we have in position are trained in, then what's the point? These new hires should be coming in under new reform laws. Child. This is going to take some work. This is going to take some work on behalf of everybody. But we could do it. We could do it. We could do it. And even if you are a police officer who's been involved in the bullshit, you out here with the shit, you could change your little mind. And you could say, I ain't on that no more. Same way like these little Chiracians, when they call themselves getting up out the game, and they are telling you that they laid that down. They legit now. Y'all can do the same little thing. if you want to. If you don't, and you are aware of how the people are feeling, you are aware of the moves that people are willing to make their point, to say that we are not going to continue to take this, then it is what it is. Hopefully don't too many innocent people get hurt. But while we figuring this all out, working on ourselves, helping each other work on each other, know that we still love you. Discipline is a part of love. We still love you. We still believe in your ability to get it together. And this is Chicago. This is to the United States. This is to the universe. But let's make conscious decisions to start to get certain things together. Because what was effective back then is not effective now. It is not producing the type of fruits that you are intending to produce. Instead of the police having a reputation for coming to get the bad guys, some type of way you all have merged with the bad guys to become bad guys with them. You become one. Are you going too deeply undercover? You forgetting that you only acting like a savage to infiltrate a situation? Y'all putting these police officers in some type of reconditioning program after they come out? Yeah, y'all need to start hugging each other. Cops in Chirac, cops in the resident, hugs, hugs, hugs. Because we all got some work to do. And we all got some healing and some reconditioning that we desperately need. Love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. Tune in for the next show of Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium.